Welcome to the Uzziah Show, where being young, black, and successful is celebrated. I am your host, Uzziah, your success strategist. And if you have any questions about your business, career, or finances, then this is the show for you. Welcome. I am so excited to talk about tonight's topic. Kyrie Irving refuses the jab. Why ownership is a must. I think this is a very important lesson that all of us must understand. Why is ownership important in 2021? If y'all are watching this for the very first time, my name is Uzziah. I'm a professional business consultant, and my job is to help you get out of debt and start your own business. So if you're watching, please leave me a comment. Let me know your name and where you're from so that way I can shout you out and show you some love. Now, guys, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know I don't waste no time. I get right in. All I'm going to tell y'all to do is keep the likes up. Keep the comments flowing. Let's get into tonight's talk. I want to get y'all's thoughts. I want to get your perspective. I want to know what you would do if you were in this situation. Some of you guys may not know what's going on with Kyrie Irving. Some of you guys might not be basketball fans, but I promise you, this applies to all of us. So tonight, I'm going to outline some of the key reasons why we need to all pursue ownership. And you're going to walk away from this knowing exactly what you should do to make sure that you always have financial security. All right. So if you love this show and you love what this is about, please make sure that you donate to keep the show going, y'all. All right. Listen, y'all, we got to keep this show on air because there's not too many shows that are quite like this. So if you love positive black male media, if you love the fact that we bring in financial empowerment, community empowerment, all in one, please make sure that you donate just like my brother Yasha Allah just did with that $20 super chat donation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, King. Please make sure that if y'all are on, you smash that thumbs up button so that way this tells YouTube to send this message around the world, and make sure that you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that way you can receive a new alert whenever I do a new show. Now, shout out to everybody that left some comments. I'm happy to see that y'all are chiming in. I'm happy to see that the cat don't got your tongue tonight, y'all. Roy the chef said, gift can't destroy his heart. Okay, I like that. I like that. I would love to get your feedback tonight, King. And for those of y'all that are feeling bold enough, make sure that y'all cam up with me. Make sure that y'all give me some commentary on your thoughts on the subject. Tia to you says, I wish we could all see ourselves as more than what we do. This is very important. Shout out to my sister, LA for life. Let's go ahead and get into this topic. Kyrie Irving is without a doubt one of the greatest basketball players of our time. When you consider his impact on the game, all of us would want to watch the man perform for years to come. But the problem is he's mandated to get the jab. And if he doesn't get the jab, then they won't let him play. Do y'all know that the Brooklyn Nets were putting together a power team? They had KD, they had Kyrie, they had Harden, they had so many weapons. And last year, they were supposed to win the NBA championship. So this is a very big controversy that's going on in the NBA, but it's not just about sports. It's about how situations like this affect you because every last one of us could find ourselves in similar situations. So, with no further ado, I'm going to pull up this article and I'm going to show you how what's going on with Kyrie right now on the Brooklyn Nets affects all of us and why we need to be in positions of ownership. When you don't own the platforms that you perform, you always put yourself at a risk. So let's check this thing out. Okay. Now I'm gonna just say it right now. Shout out to ESPN for this article. Okay. I'm not gonna play the video because the way that fair use is set up, sometimes they be tripping. It says Kyrie Irving says decision to remain unvaccinated is about being true to what feels good for me. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole article. You could check this out on your own. I just want y'all to see some of the high notes that's discussed. It says the financial consequences. I know I do not want to even do that, Irving said. Because Kyrie Irving, I mean, he is a multi-million-dollar player. We're going to read about how his brother could potentially walk away from hundreds of millions of dollars just by making the decision to not get the jab. But it is reality that in order to be in New York City, in order to remain on a team, I have to get the jab. I'm not saying a word right here because sometimes y'all YouTube be tripping and I got to keep this channel online. Amen. I chose to not get the jab, and that was my choice. And I would ask you all to just respect that choice. So many organizations around the world are mandating that you get the jab if you want to continue to work for them. Shout out to my brother Roy the Chef. I'm happy that tonight's broadcast got your attention. You know, it's not every day we get Roy the Chef on here, so it must be a rare treat to have the brother online. Shout out to Animal Kitchen. Shout out to Ariel. Tonight we're talking about Kyrie Irving refusing the jab and why ownership is a must. Now, we see at the beginning of the article, Kyrie says the financial consequences. I know I don't want to do that because can you go out and make that money somewhere else? This is one of the biggest reasons why a lot of us end up becoming slaves to our jobs because we know that if we cut ties, there's no way that we will be able to go somewhere else and make that exact same amount of money. We have to start putting ourselves in position to create financial streams independently. We have to learn how to start creating systems of revenue that we control that will make just as much money, if not more, as all of these other businesses that are out here today. This is very important. I know y'all think we're just talking basketball, but this is so much greater because this applies to you. Let's go back to the article. Okay. So, as we look at the article, we can see how Kyrie Irving is really at a crossroads because he still wants to play ball, but he doesn't want to get the jab. He says, I am going to just continue to stay in shape, be ready to play, be ready to rock out with my teammates, and just be part of this whole thing. This is not a political thing. This is not about the NBA, not about any organization. This is about my life and what I am choosing to do. Y'all might just look at this as an article, but there are so many life lessons to pick up from this message. When he talks about staying in shape, even without playing, that goes to show you how the top performers in society always stay ready so they don't have to get ready. A lot of y'all that are familiar with the NBA remember that years ago, the NBA went through a lockdown. And while average performers stayed at home and did nothing, the best of the best stayed in shape. They stayed ready for any given moment where the league was going to restart. And that's one thing that we have to know about being successful. So just because you don't have a job, that doesn't mean sit at home and do nothing. You have to constantly refine your skills as though you're already in a top position. And even for those of you aspiring entrepreneurs, even if you haven't gotten to the money yet, you need to be running your business as though you're already there. The top performers always stay prepared. And I want y'all to remember something else that he said in the article. He says, this is not a political thing. This is not about the NBA. It's not about any organization. This is about my life and what I am choosing to do. A lot of you cannot choose your life over a company because there are times at which the two will be at odds against each other. And because you got to pay the bills, you have to compromise your morals and your principles just to work. So the reason why I'm sharing this article from Kyrie Irving is because I'm trying to show you a top controversy about how a man could be potentially turning down over $100 million just to stand on his principles. Are you positioning yourself to do the exact same thing? Now, a lot of you have different opinions about this. Some of y'all want to get the jab, some of you don't. But the question is, are you putting yourself in position to live your life the way that you want? I want y'all to leave me a comment right now, and I want you to let me know, do you feel empowered working at your current position? Do you feel like you can do the things that you want to do? Or do you feel like you got to do what you have to do? What I'm trying to show y'all from this story is that some people make bold decisions to walk in their own independence, while other people choose to assimilate just to hold on to their position. When in this life, when you pursue your finances, either you're going to be independent or you're going to assimilate. Very rarely are you going to work at this dream job where everything that the company wants is directly aligned with what you want to do. So you're going to have to make some compromises unless you have another way to make money. Maybe some of you guys are at your 9 to 5 jobs and there's things that's happening at work that you don't agree with. Are you in position to walk away? Do you have enough assets in the bank that if you lost your job right now, you could still take care of your family? These are all very important things that we got to talk about tonight, y'all. But first, let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up. Please make sure that you smash that thumbs up button because this is a message that impacts all of us. All right. I want us to talk about why Kyrie Irving refuses the jab, raises awareness about the importance of ownership. If this man walks away from a multi-million-dollar contract, does he have enough assets to be able to stand on his own? Is he effective enough at managing his money so that if he walks away from the league, just like Kaepernick, will he have enough money to provide for himself? A lot of us have principles and we're very passionate, but those principles will always become compromised if we don't own anything to serve as our safety net. So right now, I'm going to start going into some of these comments. Thank you all for chiming in. LA for Life says, there are other players in the NBA that have not taken the jab, but since he is one of the superstars of the NBA, all the attention is on him. What about the other players' reasons? Yes, that's a very good point. You know, obviously, the media is always going to highlight whatever is going to get the most attention. And I think the reason why Kyrie specifically is getting this level of attention is because, one, he's always been known to be somewhat of a controversial figure. He's always been known to speak his mind. He usually goes against the grain of whatever the status quo is talking about in the NBA, but they can't deny him because he's that good. This is one thing that I think is very important for y'all to remember as well. You know, all of us can have opinions, but the people who stay compensated are those who are the top 1% at what they do. Look at Kyrie Irving. Look at Dennis Rodman. Look at Antonio Brown. Regardless of how these people have just weird things going on in their personal lives, for whatever reason, they still get hired. They still make top dollar. And I think what separates them from everybody else that has differing views is, while everybody else may have differing views and their own opinions, they are not skilled enough to stay employed. I want you to think about how, when you think about some of these key superstars, they're so good at what they do, they cannot be ignored. That's how you want to position yourself for financial security. If Kyrie Irving does not play this game, the NBA is going to take a L. You want to put yourself in a position financially where, if you walk away from what you're doing, the company is not going to be the same. They need you on board. I keep telling you guys, y'all think that I just do this stuff just to talk about the latest fad, but I'm trying to take the principles of this and show you how it applies to you, so that way you could put yourself in a better position. LA for Life said it's not about the money for him. And, you know, I think that's a really good point to talk about, because is he saying that because he's standing on his principles fully, or because he's gotten to the bag enough to where if he had to leave the NBA, he could still survive? A lot of us have reasons for living far beyond money also. But because many of us struggle living paycheck to paycheck, you can't stand on your own principles even if you wanted to. I'm sure that there's people in the NBA right now who wish that they didn't get the jab, but they ended up getting it because they've got to make ends meet. I'm sure that there's people during the time of Kaepernick who wanted to take that knee, but they were so worried about them losing their contracts that they compromised their own decisions just to stay in these leagues. See, this is the problem when we don't control the leagues. This is the problem when we always rely on other people's platforms, because it puts us at a disadvantage. Now, as we go into tonight's lesson, I want to address why this is the reason why the average millionaire has 7 different streams of income. Because while I think ownership is important, I'm not suggesting that it's always a problem to leverage somebody else's establishments. For example, y'all see I'm on somebody else's platform doing this show. I'm streaming this show right now live on YouTube. But if my YouTube channel was shut down, I would have other streams of income. I would have other ways to support myself financially. That's the bigger picture. So when you are creating your portfolio, you want to have a mixed portfolio of assets where you're leveraging other people's websites and platforms like the NBA, like YouTube, but you also want to have your own independent revenue streams, be it in stocks, real estate, and other forms of investments. Shout out to my sister, Akita Monet. I'm so happy to see you on, my sister. I hope all is well with you. Okay. Tia to you says the reason it's important for them to call him out is because the NBA is trying to buck break him. Now, for those of y'all that don't know what buck breaking means, this is whenever a prominent black man that tries to stand in boldness and authority gets broken down by the powers that be. Okay. Y'all know there's a difference between the owners and the players. And the owners are always going to protect the best interests of their franchises as well as what lines up with the NBA. Now, when we talk about everything that's going on with the jab in this pandemic, we must understand there are also regulations that are happening at a state level. So in New York, you've got to get the jab. So because Kyrie plays for the Brooklyn Nets, that plays a factor also. Animal Kitchen says Kyrie proves that money can be a defense. This is the reason why I always stress the importance of you knowing your season. Every last one of us has a certain window of time where we're going to be successful and get money. But if you don't make wise decisions during that time to take the money that you've got and do something wise with it, then once you're put in a position like Kyrie is in the NBA, if you never get to play again, then what will you do? All right. So great talking points. Y'all make sure to keep these comments going. I'm really loving y'all's energy. Make sure that y'all cam up so that way y'all can give y'all's thoughts and 2 cents on this situation. Should you have ownership of assets outside of your job? Is Kyrie Irving teaching us that we must have enough money outside of our 9 to 5s in order to live the life that we want? I want y'all leaving comments. I want y'all giving me your thoughts. No answer is the wrong answer. If you think that what Kyrie is doing is stupid, leave me a comment and let me know. If you can respect what Kyrie Irving is doing, leave me a comment and let me know. I want to hear your voice. All right. Make sure that y'all smash that like button and also make sure that y'all donate and give a super chat. Okay. Because your donations is what keeps the show going. Now, back to the article. When we look at this article, Kyrie Irving is expressing his position on why he's choosing not to get the jab. And it's important that we understand how this affects us because many of us are working for different corporations where we will also miss money if we choose not to get the you know what. It says if Irving misses every game in Brooklyn this season, including preseason games, along with the 2 regular season games against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden, he could lose over $17 million. How many of y'all are willing to walk away from 17 mil just to stand on your principles? Man, I know a lot of us, we would get that shot so quick. We would get that injected in us so fast because there's so many of us that value dollars over principles. There's so many of us that value money overall. And I think that's one of the biggest problems when you don't have money is that you tend to think that your every problem is financially related. I want y'all to see how even multimillionaires and billionaires have problems even when they're financially free. But one of the problems with poverty and living paycheck to paycheck is when you don't have enough of it, it feels like you're gasping for air. It feels like you're being suffocated by your situation, and you give yourself this false delusion that if only you had a little bit more money, then everything would be a-okay. It says if Irving misses every game in Brooklyn this season, including preseason games, along with the 2 regular season games against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden, he could lose over $17 million, according to ESPN's Bobby Marks and Tim Bontemps. Irving also is eligible to sign a 4-year, $187 million extension with Brooklyn. Do y'all see how much is at stake? This man is potentially walking away from over $100 million. And we got to ask ourselves, what comes first at the end of the day? Your health, your principles, your convictions, your beliefs, or money? And I want y'all to see something that is so ironic about all of this is people who are actually making more money than us value money less than we do in some instances. The people that are making more money than many of us will ever see actually prioritize their principles as well as their ideals beyond making money. Maybe this is a clue about how to make more money. Maybe money is one of those things that you don't chase directly, but if you chase your passion, your vision, and your principles, then maybe the money will follow. I don't know if y'all hear me on that, but I want y'all to cam up and give me y'all's thoughts. All right. I saw you in the waiting room, Yasha Allah. Tap back in. I was about to cue you back up. Tonight, we're talking about Kyrie Irving refusing the jab and why ownership is a must. If there are certain things that happens in your profession that requires you to do something that you don't want to do, are you in position to make other decisions? Do you have enough financial security in order to walk away from your income that you're getting at your 9 to 5 job? Are you putting yourself in a position for financial freedom? Okay. Ariel says, to your point, we don't put ourselves in a financial position to have the option to walk away like he did. Listen, when I was in corporate America, I felt the exact same pain. I felt like I was compromising my morals and my principles. And the reason I felt that way is because I knew that I was doing something for work that wasn't tied to my vision. I knew that by me just working behind a computer desk, not talking to anybody, I was not making the most of all of my talents and skills. So every last one of us will find ourselves in life. Well, we'll be put in compromising positions. And if we don't already have a solid plan B, we will have to give ourselves to it. Many adults will tell you that you having to do things that you don't want to do in order to get by is just a part of your adult life. But sadly, most people don't see that it's possible for you to put yourself in a better position to do the things that you want to do and make money. But because we're so busy relying on everybody else's businesses, we never take the time to structure a revenue system the exact same way that we want. Okay, let me give you all an example. How many businesses in America today would pay me to talk about Black people creating generational wealth? How many people do you think would be willing to put me on their payroll where all I did was educate people in our community about how to get to the next level? Very few. This is the reason why a lot of Black professionals don't even give their true opinions on this channel, because they're so afraid to compromise their position that they'll just stay silent and talk about it behind closed doors. You know, when I was seeing things happen back in the day surrounding Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, I knew I had to get my way out of corporate, because the thoughts that I had on these topics were so polarizing, it was eventually going to get me fired. A lot of times when you don't control your own revenue streams, you have to watch what you say, you have to watch what you do, you have to watch how you dress, you have to watch who you're around. But when you can put yourself in a position of ownership, then you can run the show. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about this article. I'm only going to get one more piece out of here, but I want to start getting y'all's comments. Let's keep these comments going. Don't start slowing down now, y'all. Ariel, Akita, Yasha Allah, Animal Kitchen, Tia, Roy the Chef, LA for Life. Chime in, y'all. I want to see y'all's thoughts. Do you need ownership in order to live life on your own terms? Can you live life the way that you want to, working for somebody else? Or do you need your own income streams in order to be free? So Kyrie says, this is my life. Hold on, I'm scrolling down just so y'all stay with me now. Stay with me. Make sure you smash that like button if you're just coming in. It says, this is my life, Irving said. I get to do whatever I want with this. This is one body that I get here. And you are telling me what to do with my body. This has everything to do with what is going on in our world. And I am being grouped into something that is bigger than just the game of basketball. So I want y'all to understand Kyrie has values where he prioritizes his independence above all. We can all learn from this, because when you don't have a set of values that you follow, you're going to always end up getting pulled into somebody else's. So if the NBA tells you you have to operate like this, then that's what you're going to do. You have to decide what things do you value more than anything else. I want to start getting y'all's values in the comment section. What things in life do you value the most? Do you value your family? Do you value your health? Do you value financial freedom? There's a lot of you that value all of the things that I just said, but which one comes first, second, or third? The reason why this matters is because there's going to come times in life where one is going to be at odds with the other. So if you value financial freedom, what happens if you're given a financial opportunity that compromises your religious beliefs? What happens if you're given an opportunity that takes you away from your family? You need to already know what comes first, second, third, in order for you to walk in your life's purpose. Okay. So for me, what I put above all is the word of the Most High. And I've been put in situations in my life where I've had to choose between, do I want to stand on my beliefs in the Most High, or do I want to follow men? Do I want to stand on the words of the Most High, or am I more concerned about making money? In everybody's life, we're going to find ourselves having to choose one or the other. So you just need to know you can have them all on some level, but when you know what comes first, second, and third, that's what will help you figure out the right decision to make whenever you find yourself in a dilemma similar to what Kyrie Irving is going through now. All of us have our own Kyrie challenges, because every last one of us has desires in life that is different than what may be offered to us by our 9-to-5 jobs. Yasha Allah, what do you think about tonight's topic?
Yeah, shalom, big brother. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's a good topic. It's a good topic. Like even for my instance, I'm not in position to do that. I never thought about it, like I said, until now when COVID hit. You know what I mean? And a lot of brothers and sisters are not either. They can say all they want. They can say they love the Most High all they want. I've been in the military, and when I was in was hardcore. It was 11 Bravo, infantryman, if you might know about that. I went through survival courses. It's not easy. People think it's going to be easy. You don't have no food, no nothing, how to survive, no shower, no shelter, make your own, cook your own food, go hunt your own food, you know what I mean? How to stay alive, how to change your socks, take a shower in the wintertime, cold. I went through all that. And it's hard. Don't get me wrong. And today, everybody's too comfortable. They're too comfortable.
Absolutely. We become very comfortable on all of these other institutions to define how we should live. Right. So, one of the things that I've always told people about for so long, Yasha Allah, is start your own business. Because if a situation happens where people force you to do things at work that you don't agree with, will you still have a plan B? Now, for a lot of us, we tend to hold views, whether it be on things like racism or religion, that we may have employers that might say, no, you know what? Because you hold that view, I'm going to fire you on the strength of that alone. I'm going to blackball you from these organizations because you align yourself with this. Are you ready to, if a business blackballs you for whatever beliefs you hold, are you ready to walk away from it? Do you have another passive income stream in the background? See, this is the reason why I was setting up things like real estate investment properties before I left corporate America, because I could see it coming. I knew that as a young Black man in corporate America, I would either assimilate into that system, go walk to work angry every day, just quietly holding in my thoughts, which is hard for me to do, or jump out and stand on my own too. I knew if I was going to be real to myself and my personal values, there was no way I could stay there for a long term. I knew that if I stayed there for a very long time, there's no way that God could use me to actually speak my truth. But there's so many people, Yasha Allah, that will take these lessons and they will think, okay, well, that's not really talking about me. I don't really need my own business. I don't need my own passive income streams. Things are going well at the job today and I'm not under pressure, but they never think about what's going to happen tomorrow. They never think about, what happens when all of these jobs become automated by machines. What happens if, I'm not in a position to work because maybe I've gotten injured? A million different things can happen. If for any reason you decide not to work at a company, do you have a safety net? I know a lot of people right now that are finding themselves quitting their jobs because their jobs are making them go back to work rather than working from home. And they don't want to run the risk of, getting sick in this pandemic. So give me some more thoughts on this, Yasha Allah. I like where you're going. For those of y'all that are just now joining, tonight we're talking about Kyrie Irving refusing the jab, why ownership is a must for financial security. Kyrie Irving is potentially going to be walking away from over $100 million. And unless he's put himself in a position to make wise decisions with his money, unfortunately, he'll just be another brother that have made a lot of money in the league and then in a few short years have gone broke. We've seen that with a lot of athletes. Please donate, y'all. All right. We've only got one super chat donation this whole time. This is ridiculous. Let's get these donations up. All you got to do is tap that dollar icon that's directly below the live chat box. Your donations will keep the show going. All right, Yasha Allah, it's on you.
Yes, like I said, even for us contractors,
Yes,
the
sir.
government is putting in place for us too. You know what I'm saying? Because we on the federal. All truckers are on the federal. So they putting in play now to get us too in the future. I'm just trying to hold out Lord's will. You know what I mean? Because I'm not in a position to do that. I never thought about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just like people say, well, I'll use Title VII. You can use Title VII. But I've been reading about it. They ain't going to check on you to make sure you believe what you believe. I heard they making sure, oh, you Title VII, huh? Okay, they going to watch every move you make. And they decide then, no, you don't follow what you say out that Bible. No.
Right.
You don't get a section. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's going to be hard. It just, people think, oh, I can do it. Okay. It is. I've been in the military. I've seen tough times. All my other brothers and sisters have been the same way. Listen, it's not easy. I can give anybody a test for 7 days, an easy test, and they wouldn't pass. It's a simple test. They wouldn't
Right.
pass. That's how I know when that comes. So I take, like you said, take away 100 million.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, bro.
It's hard to walk away from that, ain't it?
Exactly. You gotta be strong. I mean, that's the way it is. You gotta be strong. I mean, 100 million.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still. I'm gonna go repent tonight. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You know, but it's just gonna be hard. I mean, but you're right. You gotta put yourself in a better position for other things, multi-stream of income. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely. And I love this topic, man. I love all of your feedback. Thank you, brother. I think that this is the reason why I tell so many people, even if everything is going well in your job, still set up a passive stream of income in the background. Set up a side hustle in the background. Start investing in real estate. Start doing things on the side because you never know what could happen. Now, the reason I like what LA for Life says, Kyrie has obviously managed his money well. He seems to be the type of person that does what he loves, whether he is paid for it or not. I believe he has already positioned himself. I truly hope so because, Kyrie, he has consistently kind of gone against the grain in the NBA in such a way where I hope he does have his finances in order. A lot of y'all may remember when the whole tragedy happened with George Floyd, a lot of NBA players like Kyrie spoke out against that. They didn't want to go back into the NBA season. They were willing to boycott the NBA until they saw changes happening in society. And so right there, even before everything happened with the pandemic, Kyrie was ready to take a stand against that alone. And then, there's been so many other things, whether it was him taking personal time away from the game just for, his own mental health, things that was going on with his family. Kyrie has consistently taken a stand against just showing up and playing, even though he's a hell of a ball player. Hell of a ball player, great handles, great shot, definitely a driving force on any team that he's on. But I truly hope that the brother does have himself financially secure so that if he does end up missing out on this NBA money, and they hold on to everything regarding getting the jab, he could still be able to take care of himself and his family. But I just want to continue to stress this applies to all of us. If you were in Kyrie's situation, what would you do? That's what I want y'all to leave me a comment on. If you were in a Kyrie situation right now, what would you do? Would you take the jab and continue to get your 100 mil? Or is this situation so pressing to you that you would walk away from it and you would put up other streams of income just as a security measure to make sure that even without NBA money, you could still stand on your own too? Yasha Allah, any final thoughts you got for us?
100 million? That's all I can say. I'm good. 100 million. I mean, hey, you gotta be set up right. That's the way it is. Because the more money you make, the more expenses you're gonna have. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it is. But 100 million, I'm good, big brother. I'm good.
There you go.
But you gotta be strong. You gotta be strong. Except other incomes, like you said. You are right about that.
There you go. LA for Life says she will walk. All right. Everybody says it. And I'm just playing with y'all. I take you at your word, my sister. But I will say this. It's totally different when you're in a hypothetical versus when you really clocking that type of coin. You know what I mean? So, again, temptation is all before us. That's the reason why you got to ask yourself, where do you stand on your values? Does money come first? Does family come first? Does health come first? Because when the two are at odds, which one is going to prevail? A lot of people may miss very important moments in their child's life because they have to work at their jobs and because they value the stability that comes from their income. That means that they might miss on their kids' recital, their kids' game, their kids' big event. You've got to understand what matters. Yashala, thank you so much. As always, my brother, love having you on. Thank you so much for being the only super chat donation that I've got tonight. Could you just take a quick second just to tell our people about themselves? We've been doing this broadcast for a little under an hour. We're about to get on an hour of streaming right now, and you're the only donation that we got. Can you just quickly speak on that and why it's so important that we support our own?
Because if you don't, who will? And like I said, it's for you. Everything is for you. You know what I'm saying? So I hope people, when I speak, I hope people take a listen. For my age, if you waste your life like I waste a lot of my years, it's getting harder. You're gonna regret it.
There you go.
If I wake up one person, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't take heed, what Brother Josiah is teaching, take heed to what I say for my age. I wasted a lot of my years. A lot. It's not, you're gonna regret it. I'm hustling now every day to make sure I'm set up, which I can't home on truck. But now I know what to do this and do that, like you said. I cut a lot of people out my agenda for the day. And it saves me a lot of time. They go, why you don't call? Brother, I'm busy. Hey, brother, I'm busy. I got no time for no BS. I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading, I'm studying. Like you said, I bought more books. I got to get into the grind. Listen, I'm trying to set myself up. And it's harder for me now at my age. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But, hey, I hope they listen. That's it. Super chats keep us going, keep you going. That's just the way it is. But you know what? I know what it is.
What's that?
You know what it is?
What is it? Yep.
You're at the university. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You're that professor in the classroom. Talk about, I come from Harvard. You know, so yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they can't regret. I just have fun with it because I see it every day. You know, I experience it. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's all, my brother. That's all.
Thank you so much, my brother. It's always a pleasure. All right, now. So listen, y'all. Tonight we're talking about Kyrie Irving refusing the jab. Why ownership is a must in your personal life. If you had to walk away from your job today, would you be ready to make your exit? That's what we've been talking about in tonight's broadcast. So please make sure that y'all smash that like button. Please make sure that you donate, even if you don't know how to use Super Chat on YouTube. Please give a Cash App donation or a PayPal donation, y'all. The information is on the screen and the links are in the description below. So as we summarize everything that we've come to learn about this Kyrie Irving situation, I want to make a few points. Point number one, how will this affect you if you don't get the jab? Are you working for a company that's going to put in a mandate that says if you don't get the jab, you're fired? What will that do for you and your family? I've had a lot of people that have reached out to me lately asking me for advice, telling me that they don't want to get the jab. But if they don't do it, what are they going to do? How are they going to provide for them and their family? You know, there's been people that have reached out to me wondering about religious exemptions. They're trying to find any way possible to get themselves out of it. Okay. If you have a scenario that takes you away from what the company that you work for wants to do, what decision are you going to make? Because trust me, this ain't going to be the only time where you're going to be at a crossroads. You're always going to find yourself at a fork in the road as new things happen in this world, and you want to go one way and the company wants to go another. Are you going to assimilate, or are you going to stand on your own too? If you're going to stand on your own too, you need to have your own income streams that you control. Listen, guys, when you're on somebody else's platform making money, You're subject to their rules and anything can change. It's just like I said about YouTube. This may be one of my many income streams, but if this platform changes, I have to be prepared for what comes along with it. There may come a time I'm not on this platform. You got to ask yourself, if I only have one stream of passive income or regular income, what happens if that runs out? Thank you so much to my brother Animal Kitchen for the $5 super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you for somebody else giving a donation. Listen, y'all, I know that there's a lot of y'all that come on the show night after night that already give a ton of donations. I totally salute you. I totally celebrate you. Y'all are the ones that are helping to keep this show going. If you've yet to donate to this platform, or if it's been a while since you've done so, I really need y'all support, y'all. All right. We've been getting a lot of support from the same people like Yasha Allah, like Juice, like LA for Life. It's always great to see new faces that are giving donations. Okay. So thank you once again. FNJ's Outdoor Gun Range says, I believe in setting yourself up for an 8-month emergency fund. So if you have to leave your career, you're prepared and you must be ready to jump into another lane. Absolutely. That's the reason why I'm always stressing y'all having things like insurance as well as emergency funds on this channel. Shout out to the brother DJ Collins. He says, I close on my first house on the 28th. Let's give this brother a hand, man. Congratulations. So happy for you, my brother. I'm so happy that it's another one of us in a position of ownership. This is the reason why ownership is so important. He said that he closes on his first house on the 28th. Deadline is the 27th for the first jab. I'm not with this mess. I'm praying for guidance daily. And see, this is the thing. When we find ourselves in these situations, how do we keep up the house payment? If you're not setting up additional streams of income, you're going to be forced to do things that you don't want to do. This is the reason why I'm always giving shows on how to invest in real estate, how to invest in stocks. This is the reason why I'm always giving y'all 2 free stocks, so that way you can start setting up additional streams of income. So while I'm talking about that, let me go ahead and give y'all's 2 free stocks for the day. Okay. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Webull. Webull is one of the fastest growing financial brokerage companies in the world. And a great thing about Webull is not only on this platform can you invest in stocks, you can also invest in cryptocurrency. A lot of y'all have been hearing news about Bitcoin along with other crypto investments. If y'all want to get in on that game, look no further than Webull. Webull is going to give y'all 2 free stocks just for being on this show. So all you need to do is click that link and set up your account, and then those 2 free stocks will be yours. Ariel said, congratulations on your first house, DJ Collins. Let's make sure that we show some love in the comments section, y'all. Remember, this is the place where we celebrate each other's wins. We celebrate each other's success. You know, this is the place where we get away from the negative energy, people hating on us. This is the place where we encourage one another to get to the next level. All right. So let's always get on, hold each other accountable, and let's push each other and encourage each other to do great things. Listen, y'all, it's important that we are owners. I always stress the importance of thinking like an owner and not a worker. How does this jab situation affect you if you don't want to get it? You need to have your own income streams that you can control, because when you're using somebody else's platform, you're always subject to their rules and regulations. They could change their rules on a dime. A year or 2 ago, it wasn't a problem for Kyrie to play in the league. And in a year's time, everything is different. It's a difference a day makes. This ain't just on Kyrie. This affects all of us. Okay. Are you as good at creating income for yourself as the amount of money that you get working at a 9-to-5 job? Are you as good as creating income for yourself as you are working from someone else. See, a lot of us are in a real problem because if the answer is no, that's a sign that you need to start making money on the side. Some of you guys are making $100,000 working for somebody else. Do you know how to make $100,000 on your own? Do you know how to set up investments that can replace your income if you end up having to walk away from an opportunity? We got to make sure, guys, that we set up all these different income streams. And if you're only operating off of one stream right now, relying on somebody else, that means you're putting your fate in somebody else's hands. When you become an owner, you take control. You're giving yourself security. There's no such thing as job security. Ask Kyrie Irving. There's no such thing as you working for somebody else and being assured that you're going to be making money for the rest of your life. Take the money that you're making from these jobs and set up passive streams of income. Last but not least, I want to remind y'all, every last one of us will have a window of opportunity for greatness. Every last one of us is going to be blessed with moments where a door can be open, where we'll get more money or more roles on higher levels than we've ever gotten before. But when that door is open, will you run through it? Will you make the most of it? Because if you don't make the most of the window of the opportunity that you're given, once that window is closed, what will you have to show for yourself? We may be looking at the end of a window for Kyrie Irving. Either he ends up taking the jab, compromising himself, or this window is over. This era is over. No, he doesn't get a championship with the Nets. He doesn't continue to solidify his legacy in the NBA. These are all things that y'all got to focus on. If your window of opportunity was shut down right now, have you made enough wise decisions to make sure that you can be satisfied with the rest of your life? Have you already positioned yourself for generational wealth? If not, make the most of the opportunity that's given to you today. According to MJ says, never worried about creating income for myself, but I am not getting the jab and I work for the Fed, so I better learn fast. Absolutely, you should. Because the last that I heard, the Feds is pretty serious about this jab. Some of y'all may be able to get exemptions, but again, regardless of just the pandemic, guys, there's so many different situations that are going to happen that are going to force us to have our own financial security. That's what the jab is showing you. Look at how many people foreclosed on their homes now that the eviction moratoriums are closed. Like, there are a lot of us that are so reliant on these jobs and the government that if we're no longer getting these handouts, we won't have nothing. But what happens if we find ourselves facing food shortages? What happens if we find ourselves losing access to certain goods? According to MJ, said that they got a countdown timer for her. So if y'all don't get y'all's act together within a certain amount of time, that could have really dangerous repercussions for you and your family. This is the reason why I've put so much content on my channel, showing you how to start your own business, showing you how to invest in real estate, showing you how to set up other passive streams of income. If y'all have not been taking it seriously up until now, now is the time to get started. So please make sure that you smash the like button on this channel, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you can receive new updates whenever I do another show. I want y'all to leave me a comment also on other shows that y'all want me to talk about. Did y'all enjoy tonight's broadcast? And what are some of the things that you want to see me talk about in future shows? Y'all know y'all got a voice here. This is where our community comes together and focuses on how we could set ourselves up for future generations. According to Sima J. Truth, Kyrie done already set himself up for future generations. What are we going to do so that way we can live life on our own terms and walk according to our purpose and our passion? Okay. Listen, guys, I'm about to get out of here, but I want to make sure that if you want to know all of the steps on how to be successful, you check out my free book, The How to Succeed Survival Guide. I called this a survival guide because a lot of us may go through a time in our lives where we are struggling, whether it's due to these mandates, whether it's due to a lot of jobs being cut. All of us will go through a season in our lives where we're going to struggle. I know that you feel like you may always be winning because you're winning today, but are you prepared for an emergency? When you check out my book, The How to Succeed Survival Guide, is going to show you guys all of the steps that you need to put in place so that even if you're winning right now, you can start making certain decisions to protect your finances for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Is going to show you how to put yourself in position to start creating generational wealth. Okay. Thank you so much, LA for Life, my sister, for attempting to donate. I don't know what's going on with Google. Google is tripping, but that's the reason why I also have Cash App. So if you have Cash App, sis, you could donate through that. All you got to do is go on Cash App, $Blackman's Career, or you could do paypal.me. The links to donate are in the description below. All right. So I want y'all to notice how even an example just like that, I'm not relying just on one donation system, because if any donation system like Google starts tripping, then that's when we have other systems in place. A lot of y'all don't notice, but Google actually takes 30% off of every super chat that I get. This is the reason why it's important that you have other platforms put in place. So if y'all want to donate and show love, donate via Cash App if you can't do a super chat. Donate via PayPal, okay? Let's make sure that we do all we can, y'all, to keep this show going, because I love y'all and I want to see us continue to strive for greatness. Listen, I'm out of here. I'll be back on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's stay focused. Let's protect our finances, and let's all learn from this situation with Kyrie Irving. Make sure you share this message. Stop being selfish, y'all. I need this message spread with more people throughout the world. Okay, we got to get these subscribers up. I told y'all, once we get to 10,000 subscribers, then that's when a Black Men's Careers clothing line is coming on YouTube. So please support the channel. Make sure that you subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next broadcast. Keep pushing.